Welcome back to the dilemma.
And I'm Brian Burns.
And today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be talking about women in our life who we appreciate because it is National Women's kind of like month. I think March 8th was officially Women
International
International.
Women's Day,
Yeah.
and it's International Women's Month.
Yeah. So we thought it would be fun to talk about just women who have changed our lives or we admire or we look up to. So we're gonna share our screen and how did you want to do this? Did you want to switch off or did you want me to go first and then you?
You can go first.
Okay. So just gonna expand and then you can see my screen right here. But the first one is Carly Lloyd. And for all my soccer fans out there, this one's a pretty good one. We actually saw Carly Lloyd right before she retired, but she is not only an all-star player, but I think she really represents just confidence and determination, not only in the sport, but she's in a sport that's experienced a lot of controversy over the time. She stood strong in her faith and what she believed in, and I think that that's really respectable. And so, not only do I value her as a player, but as a woman.
So I actually have her as one of mine as well. And so if you don't mind, I'll just talk about it right now. Um, I, yeah, we got to see her play live. And what I've always admired about her is she's always been sort of an underdog, even though she's one of the greatest soccer players, women's soccer players of all time. Um, she had to always continually improve herself and fight for her position and to be able to continue being a starter and so forth. But the woman is a two-time Olympic gold medalist, two-time World Cup champion, two-time FIFA Player of the Year, and a four-time Olympian. She's the only player, male or female, to score all their team's goals in two victorious finals, which is unbelievable. And then she's the first woman and only the second player to ever score a hat trick in a World Cup final. And hers was actually done in regular times, in the regular normal time, not overtime. And the only other player that did it was a guy named Jeff Hurst. But quite an accomplished person. And then recently on a TV show called Special Forces or something, where she was one of two people out of 14 to actually finish uh, all the challenges.
Yeah. So she's pretty awesome.
She's pretty amazing. Yeah.
And then the next one right here, her name is Tina. She's my boyfriend's mom, but um, she is just a super hard worker, and she has always taught me the value of kind of like work hard, play hard, and to make sure you treat yourself and make sure you take care of yourself. But um, she is just she works in the ER. She's worked there for like 20 plus years, and she's just phenomenal. And as you can see, she always has the biggest smile on her face,
Great
which
teeth. You guys both have great teeth.
thank
Look at
you,
that.
which rubs off on everyone. And so it's just really contagious energy, and she's just like a mom to me. So uh love her. I appreciate her a lot. And then here's another picture of us. I just thought that was super cute, so I added it. Then this one right here, I don't have a picture of Sandy, who's my manager, but I have a picture of Liz here and Aaron. But Liz, I was an intern for her, and she taught me a whole lot. We had a lot of just really great conversations, and I think some of the biggest things she taught me was compassion and patience. I'm not a very patient person. I like things done and done kind of how I want them done. Um, but I was put in a position as an intern where I had to ask a lot of questions and I had to learn how to be patient because a lot of times people don't have just a second to give you. But Liz was always so good at the patience aspect. And um yeah, I just really look up to her and respect her a lot. She also, when I didn't have a car, she just was willing to I ran over a curb in Florida, and she was the first person to be like, "Whatever you need, like, let me know if you need me to pick you up, if you need me to drop you off." So she's not only great as someone to work with, but just a great person overall. And Sandy, who I don't have the picture up here, but she, I had one of us volunteering, and Sandy is just amazing. Not only is she my manager, my mentor, but she was also a friend to me in Florida. We went shopping together during Hurricane Ian. She,
And you were in Florida for your internship. Yeah, I remember this situation, and I remember being really feeling really uncertain when you were and scared for you when the hurricane was coming, and we weren't sure if you should buckle down or if you should evacuate, or if you were going to be required to evacuate. And then finally, you found out that you were going to have to evacuate. And I just remember you calling me and saying, "Sandy has a place for us to go. She's going to pick me up and take me there." And I just remember feeling like, I mean, knowing what I know about her and what you've told me about her, I just felt at ease once you told me that she was going to be taking care of you. So um, yeah, really solid human
yeah,
being.
she's she's incredible. So those two are very special to me, and Erin, of course, she's awesome. Okay, and then these are my two besties. So it's Riley and Megan. And Riley, she I kind of we joke around saying she raised me, but she's the one that convinced me to go to college. I originally was kind of uncertain in my plans after high school. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to go to school for. I was bouncing around a few ideas, and I hadn't had anyone older than me that was super close to me that had gone to college yet. I knew people, but I just wasn't certain about the process. But Riley went to college, and she visited a few colleges with me. She walked me through the process. She actually gave me a full notes app of every step I needed to complete with check boxes next to it. And that in itself was just incredible that she was going through the same thing as me, but she figured it out. Her older brother didn't go to college either, but she just knew what to do, and so she coached me through it and walked me through it. And she's also just an extremely hard worker. She also is a nurse. She's a military wife, and she's just one of the greatest people
How did you meet her?
cross country.
Yeah, I tell my story?
Yeah.
I remember when Emma was like 15, and when you had decided you were going to go out with some friends, and you were meeting them at the bowling alley, and I wasn't real sure about that, and I think there were some boys going to be there, and I just was feeling a little uncertain, and so I drove you there, and I get out of the car to walk you up to the bowling alley and meet your friends or whatever. And I remember Riley walking up to me in the parking lot and just saying, introducing herself, which is kind of rare for young people to do, and having a big smile and being very confident, and saying, "Yeah, Emma's going to be hanging out with us. This is what we're doing, and I'll make sure that she's taken
Taking
care of tonight." And as soon as she said that, she just has this way about her that made me feel very comfortable and confident, and she's always taken really good. I'm getting a little emotional. It's funny. She's always taken really good care of you and looked after you. And
yeah.
I think even recently you guys were out celebrating on vacation, and I was talking to you, and you were telling me your plans. And Riley's like, I've got her. I'm gonna make sure she gets home safely and stuff." And so once she says that, I'm like, "Okay, I'm good. I know you're gonna be fine." And she's good. Yeah, she's good people, and I think of her like another part of the family.
Yeah, she's yeah, you pretty much said it all, but I think just on top of that, she's an extremely confident person,
Mm.
and that's rubbed off on me a lot just in learning how to set my boundaries with people and know my worth. So there's just so many great attributes here. I don't think I could sit here and talk about her all
A
day.
great role model, yes.
And then Megan has just taught me like so much. She has such a wealth of knowledge. She actually just graduated with her master's in epidemiology and moved to San Diego on her own, and she's been a boss girl. But she has one of those hearts that I will forever look up to and admire in the sense that she cares so deeply about people and her friends. And one time she told me, she goes, I wish my friends saw them the way I saw them because
Mm,
they're all beautiful. And every single one of their flaws is, or what they view as their flaws, are something I view as like their attributes that makes them who they are. And I don't know, I thought that was so cool that she found something in each of her friends that she goes, If only you saw yourself the way I see you, you would realize how incredible you are." And it just touched me, like, it was so, so special, and she's showed up for everything. She showed up for my graduation, she showed up for my birthday. She is just one of those people that shows up time and time again for me. And
yeah.
yeah, and she's just incredible. So
One thing I appreciate about her, I mean, I don't know her like you do, but we don't have the same views on some things, right? But we have had some really great conversations about it. And I love that I can talk to her about things that we don't agree on and still have a productive and like enjoyable conversation about it.
yeah.
And I respect and appreciate people like that, that are intelligent, that can have a viewpoint that's different than mine and help me to see maybe a different side of things.
Yeah, even at the end of the conversation, if you don't agree, I think that's one of the things I admire as well about her is because we also have different views on things,
Yeah,
and that has never affected our
we can still be
friendship.
friends. Yep.
Exactly, and I truly cherish, like you said,
Way that's
people
work.
that
Yeah.
give you that have opposite opinions because it makes you think and it makes you question. And
Yep.
I love having that dialogue with her. But at the end of the day, no matter what happens, if it was a good or a bad conversation, we both walk away as great
That's it.
friends. And there's been a few circumstances like that where I'll see that she disagrees with someone and she just drops it like it never happened. Like it was not even a disagreement, but rather a discussion. And I don't think I've ever experienced that type of maturity in conversations that are opposing or in views that are opposing.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's incredible at that. And then this is my family, but I think one lady I really wanted to point out here is just my grandma. It was her birthday actually.
She's
On
on my list as well.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it
go
was his
ahead.
birthday on Monday, and my grandma also just has one of those hearts that I truly admire in the sense that she is extremely forgiving and loving. She's shown me what an endless love is, and
Unconditional.
yeah, sorry, unconditional
Yeah.
love. And it's pretty crazy to know a person like her because you walk away uh questioning how good of a person you are in the best way possible. You just constantly look up to her, um, and she's just gorgeous.
Well, I wanted to say something about her as well. She's my technically my ex-mother-in-law, but she doesn't treat me that way. She still treats me, she's always treated me like a son, as long as I've known her and part of the family. And I really love that about her. She's always been good to me. She's always there if I need her. And she's a godly woman who, um, like you said, is just has unconditional love and have a lot of respect for her and great role model for you and for my kids and one of those the model grandma. I think she's done a really good job and I'm glad that you had her on there
Yeah,
on the list.
she's pretty special. And I think that is the end of my list. Some honorable mentions. Um,
Let's switch off of the share for a second. And then I can bring up mine. And we'll go into, okay, so let me go ahead and share mine. Okay, hopefully you guys are seeing my screen. And that's my mama. So my mom is an amazing person. She had children very young. She got married while she was still in high school. All the statistics were stacked against her, and she stayed married. She was married to my dad until he passed away. Uh, oh gosh, 10, 12 years ago, so something like that. I try not to, I don't know, I kind of forget the dates, but she uh she has since remarried, and she's one of those people that um doesn't doesn't see obstacles as something that prevents her from doing things. It's just she figures out how to get them done. She has helped me, tile my floors and do projects that most women wouldn't tackle. She was a mother of three boys, and she's scrappy and happy to, um, you know, to, you do that kind of stuff, handle boys. And I think she has, you know, she owned her own business, hair salon. So she's been a small business owner. She's worked in a bank. She was a stay-at-home mom for years, and raising us kids. And again, the unconditional love. And she's been there for me in really tough times. Um, and always looking to help somebody. She's just got that desire to be there for other people, and to help them through things. And another, example of a great role model as a grandma.
Yeah.
um she's uh uh she's an amazing woman, and I love her. And she lives in Arizona. She's not real close, but we get to see her quite as often as we can.
Yeah, I think something I wanted to say about her. Um she took me in like when we were struggling as a family. I moved to Arizona and I lived with her my senior year of high school, and probably one of the best experiences just because like she allowed me to really focus on just getting into colleges and my study, and kind of took away the brain power of the like emotional aspect of family, and just gave me what I needed, and I couldn't have asked for anything more. But yeah, she's just that type of person. She's showed up for many cross country races. She's always one of those people who is constantly present no matter what the ask is. And yeah, I just love her a lot. She's
Yeah.
special.
It's one of those things, like you go to her house and all of a sudden things are just calm and easy, and you
At
feel
peace.
like at peace. Yeah. Um, Okay, so let's go to my next one. So I took a little different approach than you did. You kind of
Mhm.
went with women in your life, and of course I did with my mother, but I'm looking at more like women in history that I admire, that I think have contributed to the world in a way that's special. And Mother Teresa is a unique individual. She uh, worked as a teacher at the Loreto Convent School in Eastern Calcutta, and served there for over 20 years, and then became headmistress in 1944. But I want to share this. She's got some pretty amazing quotes, but this is one that I think is really cool, and a way that we could all be better people. It says, people are often unreasonable and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you're honest, people may cheat you. Be honest anyway. If you find happiness, people may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today may be forgotten tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give your best anyway. For you see, in the end, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them. And I just love that attitude and that heart, and she just had a heart for serving people and making the world a better place and leaving a smile on people's faces. And I think that's just a role model, a way that we should all try to live our lives. You look very serious right now, Emma.
I was rereading it.
Another woman I admire is Condoleezza Rice. You may not recognize her because she hasn't been in the public eye for a while, but I've got some interesting facts I want to share about Condoleezza. She started college at age 15 and graduated Phi Beta Kappa with a bachelor's degree at the age of 19. Both of her parents were educators. She was the youngest, first woman, and first African American to serve as provost of Stanford University. She was the first woman to serve as national security advisor to the United States president. She was served under George W. Bush. She was the first African American woman to serve as the U.S. Secretary of State. She was named by Time Magazine as one of the world's most influential people. She served as one of 13 members of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. She's a huge college fan, and actually, I think she's considered buying a football team and or coaching one, which I think would be pretty cool. The name Condoleezza derives from the Italian word dolcezza, which means with sweetness. Dr. Rice was born, she's also got her doctorate. She was born in Alabama, which remained segregated for the first decade of her life, which is pretty incredible. You know, that she grew up in an environment like that, and then became Secretary of State. And growing up, Dr. Rice wanted to be a concert pianist and initially majored in music, but later her major turned to international relations. So quite an incredible woman. The other one I have here is Joan of Arc, kind of a unique individual in history. I think I was looking for ones that were maybe not everybody knows about, but I think are pretty cool. She was a peasant in medieval France. She believed that God chose her to lead France to victory in its long-running war with England. So she was very young when she decided this. She was just a teenager. And with no military training, she convinced Crown Prince Charles to allow her to lead a French army to besiege the city of Orleans, where they achieved a stunning victory. So this young teenager girl was given the opportunity to lead a military effort, and she actually brought them to victory. And then after seeing King Charles VII crowned, Joan was captured by the enemy forces and then tried for witchcraft and burned at the stake at age 19. So she accomplished all this before she was even 19 and then died as a martyr. And by the time she was canonized in 1920, Joan of Arc was considered one of history's greatest martyrs and the patron saint of France. And as a little trivia about her is that she's popularized the bob haircut. So you can kind of see it in this picture, but that's where that came from. A lot of girls like that haircut where it's just kind of like the short bob, and she was the first one to, or not, she popularized it anyway. And another quote I like here from her was one life is all we have, and we live it as we believe in living it. But to sacrifice what you are and to live without belief, that is a fate more terrible than dying. And so she lived life in a way that she felt God wanted her to live, and ended up dying a martyr's death. So I guess I'm going to end with that sad one. But I do have a few honorable mentions I'd like to mention. People that I believe are pretty great. Women of history like Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Anne Frank, Jane Austen, Marie Curie, Amelia Earhart, the first woman pilot, Anne Frank, I already mentioned her. Dolly Parton, quite an amazing woman, right? Maya Angelou and Queen Elizabeth and Margaret Thatcher, all pretty amazing women in history. And I mean, there's so many more, but I think it was fun to kind of talk about some of our favorites and why they inspired us, and some of the, you know, inspiration that we can get from people in general, but specifically women.
Yeah, women are pretty incredible.
They are. And I've got two other, not honorable mentions, but most important ones in my life. My two daughters, Emma, sitting next to me, and my oldest daughter is Peyton. And Peyton is a photographer, and she started her own photography business at a very young age, and she now has done hundreds, literally hundreds of weddings, and she's really talented. I'll put in a plug for her. Her business name is Photography as You Wish, because she and I are both big fans of The Princess Bride, and so that's where the name came from. And if you want to check out her work, she's on Facebook, Instagram, and she has a website. It's Photography as You Wish. And then my other daughter here, Emma, she's quite incredible. She's you know, finished, got her bachelor's degree in business, and now did an internship, and now working at Ceridian in a business development role, kind of following a little bit in my footsteps, and doing this podcast. And I really love my daughters. What I admire about them the most is that they're also women of integrity, and stay true to their faith, and they both choose really nice boys that they're dating and things like that, and I just enjoy hanging out with them and having a relationship with them. So those are two other women that I really appreciate.
I think that's it.
That's it. Do we have a closing thought or a closing?
What's your go-to Starbucks order?
My go-to Starbucks order, I really enjoy just a triple cafe latte grande. That's my go-to.
Regular milk?
Yeah, just regular straight up.
I like a sugar-free vanilla latte with oat milk.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, that I got this morning, and then egg white bite always. They have really good roasted red pepper egg white bite.
There you go. I like
Coffee cake.
their classic
That's
coffee
the
cake.
coffee
Yeah,
cake.
it's really good.
Well, that's it for today, guys. Thanks again for tuning in to this dilemma. And then next week, we're going to be talking about manifesting your dreams. So, um, I feel very passionately about this one, and I think it'll be a great episode. So, we look forward to talking to you next week. Bye.
Bye.